2 of 6.
Here come the
All right.
people.
There we go.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Nora is about to come in. Hi, everybody.
We have started the live video. If you do not want to be seen on the video, please turn off your video now. We do record these sessions. They will be on the NWSOFA.org website under our YouTube live streaming account. And they will be ready to be reviewed within just a few minutes. If you leave to have to go to the bathroom, you can come back and you can actually go up and live stream and listen to it. If you want to go back and look at things, you can pick it up at any time on the NWSOFA.org website. So great. All right. To you, Cecilia.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, everybody. Trisha, Dina, Adam, Kathy, Gail. Hi, everybody. It's so great. Merritt, Jeffrey, Dr. Chris, Adrian, Hannah. Nice chicken. That's a great color. SG, Miss Sharon, Tom, Matthew, Christina. It's so great to see all y'all here. Chris, Amy, I got your message. I'm so sorry. I forgot I had a doctor's appointment today. I have been so busy today. I will call you back tonight. Y'all, Miss Linda, it's so great to see all y'all here today. Barbara, Joe, Anna, y'all, it's so great to see all y'all here. I am so happy. Sabrina, hi. Miss Kara, hi. It's so great to see all of y'all here. I am glad that, oh, Carolyn, good. Still people, everybody trickling in. Y'all. Hi, I'm Cecilia. Welcome. You have made your way here. I am so thankful that you have made your way to the soup, here to Sorting Soup. Welcome or welcome back. There's a lot happening right now, and including the demolition of the East Wing of the White House. And before we rush past that, it's worth remembering what that space meant. The East Wing wasn't just an extra hallway. It was where women made their mark inside the people's house. Edith Roosevelt expanded it in 1902 to support the growing work of the First Lady. Eleanor Roosevelt filled it with reporters, women reporters, and turned it into a hub for human rights and public service. By the 1970s, Rosalind Carter formalized it as the office of the First Lady, giving it women in government their own professional staff and purpose. For more than a century, the East Wing was the heart of care and communication, a place where women led quietly but powerfully. And now, as the walls come down, it's fair to feel that loss. But it's also a reminder that legacy doesn't live in the building. It lives in us. So today, we focus on self-care, not as a luxury, but as a continuation. The same kind of steady, revolutionary care that kept the East Wing alive all those years, because self-care is our rebellion. It's how we keep showing up, keep imagining, keep each other growing. No matter what gets torn down outside. So let's go on to the next. Real quick, I am Cecilia. We have Dr. Melissa as your co-facilitator, and we have Dr. Chris as our other co-facilitator. And we have Rebecca as our main timekeeper and tech support. And we have Beth M as our main vibe check, chat monitor, and our other, well, she has other duties today as well. We also have Merle in the house, and Boot Money as always.
And
So,
Stephanie.
oh, and Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Why is Stephanie not on here? We need to, that's something else we should have asked or added today. That was what the thing. Stephanie needs an addition as our main, as our other tech support. All right, so moving onward. Quick logistical overview if you haven't been here before.
Yep. So I hope that we have some new folks. I hope that No Kings has drawn in some fresh faces. So if that's the case for you, welcome. This is Sorting Soup, and it's a group with a twofold purpose. We spend half of our time kind of emotionally processing the events of the day because it's a fire hose. There's something new every day. And the other half of our time, we brainstorm action items. Today is a little bit different than usual, where we're going to be focusing on a different kind of action item, focusing on self-care. Rather than our usual, like, I'm gonna do 5 phone calls and write 100 postcards and blah blah blah. Today is gonna be a little bit more gentle, a little more reflective. So as we head into that, just be aware of that context. Um, we meet on Thursdays at 5 Central, so we're all here, and we can talk about group norms um, a little bit. We do have an active group discussion. And when we get to that part of the agenda, we want to encourage folks to participate. And the way to participate is you're going to raise your digital hand. So in your Zoom menu, you're going to find your Zoom menu. You're going to find the heart button that says React. You're going to click that and then click on Raise Hand. That's how you're going to get in line, as Melissa just did. And now she lowered her hand. When we're in the discussion, make sure that you're keeping your comments as brief as possible, under 2 minutes if possible. Always keeping things civil and constructive. No spamming in the chat, meaning don't repeat things over and over again. If you get your point across, you should be good. And then because we do often discuss heavy topics, emotional topics, if you start to get activated or need to take a break, that's absolutely fine. Got to do what you got to do. So make sure to breathe, step away if you need to, and come back when you're ready.
All right.
So today's agenda is focusing on reflection and a little bit of recuperation. Those of us who were involved with No Kings, there was a lot of planning. So this is a little bit of a season of taking a moment, taking a breath, which Cecilia will walk us through. And we're going to split our time between processing and that self-care themed brainstorming. So that'll be our agenda today. So before we get into the big stuff, Cecilia is going to help us all get grounded.
So, we are going to take a moment in the bardo, the space between what was and what is coming next. If you are sitting, make sure that your feet are on the ground and you're firmly planted. You can roll your shoulders back, kind of extend your spine. If you're laying down, make sure that you are just kind of firmly wherever you are. Wherever you are, just listen to my voice. Give your toes a little wiggle. Feel the weight of your heels press down, your anchor to the earth. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. No rush. Just a breath that belongs to you. As you inhale, imagine filling yourself with steadiness. As you exhale, release one small piece of tension, maybe in your shoulders, or your jaw, or your chest. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, I am whole. Let your breath soften. Let your spine loosen. Inhale, I am connected. And as you exhale, release what isn't mine to carry. You don't have to solve anything right now. Take one final deep breath in, full and steady, into this collective. And exhale with the quiet knowing that self-care is our rebellion. You are grounded, you are enough, and you are ready. So come on out and stir some soup with me. That kind of turned into store, but it was meant to be stir. Whew. So, how was No Kings for you? What I'd like to know, what I'd really like to know, I want the bright spots and the what you learned from it, and I even want to know the the not so great spots, like those little things that you need to change, that might have taught you a lesson, but that are helping you. Miss Judy, hi. How are you today?
Judy, you can unmute.
Oh, I tried to.
There we go. Wait. Uh, there it goes. Okay. I hate when I do it on my phone and I lose you. It was absolutely fascinating. This time I went to Evanston.
Okay.
And so I've now done these major rallies in Chicago, Evanston, Arlington Heights, and each one has a totally different vibe. You know, Chicago is high powered and high energy and just, you know, the music is heavy rock and roll, and it's just different, and you know, and I feel it's just amazing. And
Yeah.
then you go to Arlington Heights, and it's very community and warm and welcoming. And then you go to Evanston, and it was folksy, and it was just so different. And I marshaled this one, and I was up near the stage, and it was different, and and I couldn't tell you that I liked any one better than any other one, but it was because I liked them all. But it was just and I do them in my wheelchair, so I sat there, and
Mhm.
as I sat there, I just really was aware of the very different feeling in each of the three experiences.
Do you know what's
And
strange?
and as and we had about 6,000 people,
Mhm.
which is not a small group. The only issues we had a few medical emergencies,
Mm.
which, you know, that happens when you have a group of about 6,000 people smushed together into a very small spot of space. Um, I was very impressed that Mayor Dan Biss was there, and he was very hands-on the medical emergency that was right near the front stage, which is where he was. Though at Evanston, we did not have any of the politicians speak. It was only groups that spoke. The politicians were not a part of it. They were acknowledged, but they were not a part of it.
Hmm.
And on that high, I went off into the week, and Tuesday night we had a political forum for people running for Jan Schakowsky's seat. And I said to one of the guys from Morton Grove, Vision Morton Grove, I said, has there been any ICE raids in Morton Grove that I'm not aware of? And he said, I don't think so. Only to have at the construction site around the corner from my house yesterday morning a raid where they took 13 people at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I am proud to say that without knowing that was happening, my group is having the first ever protest in Morton Grove this Saturday from noon to 2 blocks down from where the raid was. And it was totally unplanned. We didn't know, of course, we didn't know what was going to happen. And so and I've got about 25 people who RSVP'd from Mobilize besides my own group. And so I'm very excited because we're keeping up the momentum of No Kings, and we're going to be there right down the street from where it happened. And just real quick, and then I got to go because I know I'm at time and I'm also still at work. Oh, lo and behold. I learned today that the word republic, when you look at like the republic for which it stands in our pledge, the word republic comes from the Latin word of the public. And so as we wonder where we are and who we come from, we are from the public. And keep that in mind as we wonder what we're
Judy. No,
Dang it.
you were on
It
a
was,
roll.
it was building to a crescendo.
It was. We were building. That soup was getting frothy.
Thank you, Froze, Judy.
Thank you, Judy. That was so great. Okay, we're going to move on to Diane. Go ahead, Diane.
Hi, I just unmuted.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to see you guys again
Hi.
after seeing you last week. Judy moves me deeply. She's helping us out with Music for Democracy because hers is one of the sponsoring chapters. And I don't think she plugged yet. This coming Saturday, they're having a big event in, I think, Morton Grove. I was trying to figure out, I don't have the technological know-how to post our flyer now for Music for Democracy. I was looking at various things, so I don't want to take up too much time on that, but I have a flyer and also Judy's Mobilize. I said that I would also promote that because she's helping us promote ours. Um, so
We'll figure
anyway, I can maybe if there's time at the end, I just wanted to say I went to the one in LaGrange Park, which
Mhm.
is only the second one they've ever had in LaGrange Park. And they collaborated with the Young Dems of Lyons Township. And I know we're not party related, but the chapter I'm in, the West Suburban Chicago chapter, is very interested in involving young people under the age of 35, and that's a group that we've kind of made friends with, very much made friends with, and we helped them with the one they sponsored. This time my group sponsored it, not me personally, but I was also a marshal at it. And it's my third marshaling. And I heard Judy um, in her wheelchair. I met her in her wheelchair at the Bernie Sanders event in Chicago. And I had my rollator. We're a bunch of old people that have disabilities. But that said, it was delightful. I was really interested in what she said about this variety, each event, each area. I mean, it highlights how beautiful our diversity is and how free we are to interpret things. And that's a wonderful thing, contrary to the way the government would have things. And it was just the spirit was great. I think they might have had one minor incident somewhere at the end that I didn't even find out what happened, but maybe a heckler or something. Nothing major. And there were so many people there that had never gone to any kind of protest before.
And that's
And
exciting.
go ahead.
Oh,
Yes.
that's exciting to get new
It's very
people.
exciting. And they got a survey back. I think there were 4,000 people there, but only 400 answered the survey and they especially appreciated the marshals, which I was really happy to hear. Um, and so many people said it was their first time, and I met people that said it was their first time. So, it's what we want. We got to get more than 7 million out, even though 7 million is so great around the country. So that's all I have really to say about it. It just continues to be reinforcing. And I would say also the court decision, the federal court, who knows what the Supreme Court will do, to not allow, if anybody doesn't know, the troops are not allowed legally now, as the court decision has put I forget what you call it, you know, a hold on their being on our streets. But they haven't said they couldn't be here in Chicago yet. I don't think that's possible. But they aren't supposed to be on our streets until the end of the year, unless the Supreme Court intervenes, which could happen because Trump has asked them to do so. But that at least is saving us from an even worse. It is true, like Judy said, that they are picking people up. And I've heard not too far away that has happened still.
Yeah.
And some of the things I read that they're doing are violating the court order.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Diane. I appreciate you. All
So
right.
if anyone could maybe in the chat give me some instructions how to post our flyer so people can see it. It looked like there are a couple of different places it could go. Anything that could go where people can refer to it would be great.
Yep. I'm sure we can do that.
Happy to see you guys again.
Happy to see you too. All right. Melissa, you are up.
Hi, I just wanted to say joy and nonviolence. It's amazing that we as a country and we as a group have managed to create that many, over 7 million people in the streets with joy and nonviolence. And let's do that again and
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. I know, right? I just imagine that many people with no incident. The only people who actually were arrested the entire day were from the other side, y'all. I mean, come on. It was, we did an amazing thing. It was pretty amazing. So, Amy S., you're up. You can unmute, please.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Sometimes I have technical problems. Yeah, I put in the chat a link to ICE reports, which is iceinmyarea.org. And what I meant by the false, there's been it's huge activity today versus yesterday, over 2,500 so far today. And there are a lot of false reports in there, though. I would say maybe today it's maybe 10 to 20% of people making jokes. But you can kind of see the trends. Like there's a lot of activity in San Francisco today. So I'm pretty sure there is a lot of ICE in San Francisco. And then also there was and thank you, Cecilia. Thank you guys for facilitating this. It's just sending love to all you guys. I mean, it's pretty overwhelming. What's happening? There was a press conference that Governor Pritzker did yesterday this morning. Sorry, it's a fire hose. With the lieutenant governor, and he's setting up a new commission to hold people accountable. So whatever happened on Ogden yesterday in Chicago with the car crash, like whatever craziness happened in Little Village yesterday, so the governor is setting up a commission with several experts and legal experts and just highly respected people, like this guy who used to be a judge, and he worked in the Clinton and then the Bush administration, stuff like that. He's the commissioner or whatever, he's the chair of that. And then there's the vice chair. And they're literally going to do investigations and document for the record for future accountability of people, including all up the chain. So the actual ICE agents who were involved, and then also the two people in Chicago have been murdered by ICE so far, a woman and a man.
20.
20.
Well, yeah, two.
in
Yeah,
the
just in Chicago. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
raids. So they're going to do detailed investigations of those,
Good. Yes, I know.
document
Yeah.
document those, because while they may not be able to be held accountable now because it's the federal government,
They
they're
will.
forward looking. I'm so glad they're doing this. We do need a record. We need to memorialize what's happening and
Yes.
hold people accountable, and
Yes.
let the people know who are doing this that this is lawless. These are killings and murders.
Yes.
They are against, even immigrants have rights. Everyone in this land, everyone in the United States has rights. I know I'm preaching to the choir right now, but there is no due process right now. So they're documenting all this and saying this commission. So I'm going to put a link in the chat. It's like an hour-long press conference, but it gave me a lot of hope.
It
And I
wasn't.
think it's good to know about too. So I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Amy, you're absolutely correct. It was an excellent press conference.
Yeah.
One of several that he's done in the last week, about, I mean, Governor Pritzker's on a roll, y'all.
Yeah.
He really is. He's been doing all the right things, hitting, and he's done a series of interviews recently. We didn't focus on that today because we were focusing on self-care. I'll be honest with y'all. We thought with everything that was happening today, and this week, specifically, the East Wing's destruction and, you know, just, I don't know, everything that's happening this week's been heavy. I mean, the news has been heavy. Everything that's been happening, we just thought that today would be a good day to kind of talk. And y'all can talk about whatever you want. We've always said you don't have to talk about what we want to talk about. So if y'all want to talk about Pritzker, we can talk about Pritzker. Um, I'm all for that. So, Miss Sharon, you're up next. Oh, and there we go. So, oh, here you go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sharon from California. Yes, everything is kind of, unsettling, but I was on the Zoom for Ezra and Leah earlier, and they were letting us know that Spotify is recruiting for ICE.
Yes, and
And
we have added them to our boycott list.
okay, so I'm not really aware of Spotify, but I think it has something to do with music, does it?
And podcasts, it music and podcasts, yes.
Okay, so if you have a subscription, please cancel. And when I feel like I can do something, I don't have that. I feel more empowered than just sitting there and doing nothing. I've been calling my senators and representative. My representative is a Republican, and I'm considered in a rural area in California, and we have 3 hospitals, and from my understanding, 2 may be closing, and that will mean certain death for our constituents up here that just have 1 hospital. So I hope it doesn't go through. And I've been calling the representative, asking him to say no to the big, brutal bill. So I've been working on some things myself. Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, I know you have. Thank you so much, Miss Sharon. Thank you for all the work you're doing out there. All right, Miss Rebecca, you're up next.
Yes. So y'all know that the ICE thing is very near and dear to my heart. And just today, federal agents swooped in on the rideshare line, like line of cars at O'Hare. And they took about 15 of the drivers. Of course, they were targeting the ones that weren't white. And they just left their cars there. And this is the third time this month that they've done that at O'Hare. So, bad and heartbreaking. On the other hand, something that feels empowering to me is I believe it was the Illinois Attorney General's office. They established what they're calling a plate watch hotline. And so this is if you see ICE vehicles out and about, and you can take training that'll help you identify them. But if you see ICE vehicles, frequently they have back plates only. And in Illinois, you are legally required to display both front plates and back plates. So it's just a way that we here in Illinois have of causing a little bit of trouble for those federal agents. So I will put the information for that plate watch hotline. It's a phone number and an email address. I'll put that in the chat, and it's just a way for us to get into some good trouble, because that always makes me feel better.
Amen. That's lovely. Thank you. Good soup there. All right. That's a lovely ingredient. All right, there we go. Kara, you are up next, please.
Hi, this is Kara. I wanted to talk about Spotify. Somebody had brought that up. And I think what Indivisible and No Kings is trying to do next is something called like more of a rapid response economic impact. And you know how Jimmy Kimmel, there was such a backlash when Jimmy Kimmel was bumped off the air. We really showed our power. It's up to, the count is 1.7 million people canceled their Disney Plus subscription like immediately. So I think that that's what they're proposing to do with Spotify. I would say they haven't made the call yet, though, to do it. And so you may want to wait until there's an actual campaign and an actual, publicizing that we're doing this so that we can all do it at once and make a bigger impact.
Okay.
So just some thoughts there.
Fine by me. I don't have Spotify, so I'm just along for the ride. The PR ride, that is. So I will hold off on publicizing that, and I will do it as yes, okie doke. I'll look into that more, is what I'm trying to say. Summer Love. Lovely name. You are up next.
Hi, so I'm Summer Love from Aurora, Illinois. I was born and raised in Chicago. And I'm literally 48 and I'm in the era of saying yes to all things, and I'm profusely sweating from my armpits right now speaking on this, but we're just gonna go with it, okay, guys?
Okay, I'm there.
So I feel like I have so much skin in the game of just everything that's going on right now. In 2003, I was a victim of gun violence, and I was shot by two individuals that were immigrants. They were political refugees here for political asylum. They were from Albania. and they actually fled the country and were found in Canada. Long story short, one of them got convicted, one of them walked free. But I will forever be scarred by that. I have a spinal cord injury, so I, have the defects of that. I'm actually supposed to be paralyzed and in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, but God is good and I'm walking, and I was a mom of 2 at the time. Now I'm a mom of 4.
Amen.
I am an Army mom. My son is a lieutenant in the National Guard. And I'm married to my husband, who is a immigrant from Chile, and he can be taken at any time now. And I have 2 young daughters that their health is at risk from everything going on. So my empath mom heart doesn't feel like it can take much more.
I
Um,
totally understand.
and but then I remember how much I have survived, and then I remember how much power I have within me and how much my voice matters. And for so long, when we're told to just, be quiet and don't be too loud and you're being too much. And for so much of my life, I lived that way. And now I'm like so loud on social media that so many people freaking hate me, and I'm okay with it. Like I have fun with it. I'm like, hate me all you want, I'm still here. But I took my daughters, they are 15 and 12, for our first ever protest here in Illinois, Aurora, and it was amazing. Like, it was so incredible. As soon as I walked up to those gates, I immediately started to tear up. And it was just being in that moment of, I am making history, and I'm making history with my daughters. Like, this is something that they're gonna always, always, always remember. And it ignited a passion in me, and I saw that it ignited a fire in them. So I can't wait to get involved in more. I think after this Zoom, we have another one. Like, I just kept getting all the emails. I'm just like, this is the time of yes, yes, I'm signing up for everything. I have one that is with our state representative talking about gun violence in Illinois. So I'm excited to get involved in like all the things. And I'm excited to make a difference. So if anybody has like any other things that made like you might think of, hey, I know a girl that like, well, I feel like I have my toes in like all the water. So can anybody give me any ideas of how I can get like more involved? I would love that. So I'm gonna shut up now because I can talk forever. Thank you guys for listening.
No, that was whew, touched my heart. Okay. That was lovely. Thank you, Summer Love. That was lovely. Whew. All right, Melissa, you're up next. I'm sure we will get some stories or some suggestions. Are you
I
gonna
didn't even, sorry, I didn't even unmute. I was saying thank you, Summer Love, and it's very inspiring. And also, there are many, many, many things and NWSOFA to get involved with, and I'm sure we'll be talking about them as we go along. I was just going to comment about Spotify because I'm curious how they're recruiting through Spotify, and if their Spotify has an option of changing what they're doing. But also when we
ads?
do, oh, ads, ooh, they're advertising. Okay. And I think that when we do a boycott, we should also offer an alternative so that there's a positive aspect. Like, where do we go if we don't do Spotify? Do we do Pandora? What are the options? There we go.
Ads, and no, you can't stop it because there are left-wing people who have tried. Like I have had it, podcasts have tried to opt out of those advertisements, and they cannot. They have not been able to opt out of those like they're not able to. They can't. So
But we can go to another provider. I mean, I know Spotify probably has a bit of a monopoly, but there are probably other good providers of music that we could invest in.
I hope so, because I believe Apple is also doing the same thing.
Ooh, okay. Keep an
Yeah.
eye on that. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Sabrina, you are up next. You can unmute yourself here. You don't need me to do it for you. Oh, you can't? Oh, yep, yep. Yeah, you did. There you go.
There. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was trying to click it. So because this is about self-care, I'm going to share kind of a sad thing, but it ends up to be a good thing in the long run. I'm sorry, I'm going to take my computer in another room. I realize the TV's probably pretty loud. Anyway, but so I went to, this is my third protest this year. And so the first two were amazing. The first one, I actually helped out a little. I didn't organize or anything. I just did some painting. We have this graffiti bridge that we can paint on. It's kind of cool. And so I helped with that. I felt energized all day. Of course, we had the protest, and it was just great. It was positive feelings, a lot of good stuff. Went to the second one. Um, I brought my son, my 16-year-old profoundly autistic son, which was a pretty big deal. We stayed for about an hour. It's very hot in Florida, and I think this was in August, like the worst time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's very hot, and I forgot an umbrella. But it was still a really great experience. And when I turned around to my son and said, "Okay, buddy," because people were looking at us like, "You guys look hot." And so I was like, "Okay, buddy, you know what? We're gonna go, but the point is that we showed up." And this lovely woman walked by and she overheard me and she goes, "That's right." And so it was just like positive, good feelings, right? Well, then I decided, of course, I was going to the Second No Kings, and I've been joining different organizations just to kind of use up my time. I'm a furloughed federal employee, and I don't do well sitting around. Um, and so I, started helping groups, and I'll be honest, I got involved with a group where the leader was very manipulative, and I have had psychological and mental abuse in the past. It was very triggering for me. I tried my best to like hold my boundaries while I was dealing with this person who was being short with my mother, who showed up to help out because I asked her to, and to help me with my son and everything. Yeah. And then they just were very controlling and a little manipulative. I felt like I was being manipulated sometimes. And so it was hard because I'm very excited about the work. I really want to help out a lot. But I was like, look, this is not good for your health. Like, this is not good for your mental health. You have to take care of yourself first. You have a profoundly autistic child you have to be aware of, and keep your health with him because it's very difficult. I have to be very patient with my son. And patience was not always my strong suit. Cecilia can tell you. Anyway, but so ultimately I did that, and I'll tell you, it took me a couple of days to recover from the protest. And last time I felt energized, and this time I just felt worn out. Like it had been the longest day of my life. The build up, the after, it wasn't good. And I thought, well, I'm not gonna, I will push through hard times to something good, but all I could see was a problem here. So I let them know, hey, I need to take care of my mental health. This isn't working. I didn't, say anything rude, but I just was like, hey, I gotta make this choice. And I will tell you, I have felt so much better after making that choice. And that was hard to do. I feel like I'm really letting people down, and I could have been a force for good. And I'll find other places to put my energies. But it felt bad, but I did it because it matters that I take care of myself first, or I'm not gonna be helping anybody.
Exactly. We have to put the oxygen mask on ourselves, or if we can't help the people around us, if we don't put us on ourselves first, then we can't help the people around us. We have to remember that, y'all. I have to remind myself of that all the time. That's what this is about today. All right, Adrian, you're up next. You can unmute yourself here.
They are not allowed to unmute themselves, but
I was copy pasting. Um, yeah, I was really moved by Summer Love's story. I really appreciate everybody sharing. It takes courage and vulnerability, which is an odd combination, right? But I just wanted to say that we do have one of NWSOFA's many outlets is Discord, and I'm going to post in the chat that you can join there. So if you want to continue conversations or leave information, post flyers, ways to connect, specific media and materials about your state or about topics, you can also join working groups from NWSOFA there. So I just wanted to make sure that that was an option for people. And thank you guys so much for today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And Summer Love, we have a group called Sharing Our Stories, which is an extension of NWSOFA, and I believe you would fit right in. I think we need to get your information, if you wouldn't mind. Your email
And the next session of that is scheduled for November 5th.
at 7 p.m., right? Okay. And it's on the same email, or it's like on this same channel, 7 p.m. All right. Judy, you are up next. I asked you to unmute. You gotta unmute yourself, babe. There you
I
go.
got back home and that was fast.
That was fast.
And I walked back in the door just in time to see an ice commercial on TV.
Of course you did.
But anyway, and the TV won't mute.
That's okay. I don't mind.
It's driving me nuts. So
okay.
anyway, I didn't bring it up before, but in addition to Spotify is one of the things that we need to look at, and this is Spotify I don't have, but Comcast is actually giving a huge amount of money to the funding of the ballroom. And I don't know, and that one's going to hit me real hard because that's my television, my internet, and my cell phone. And I don't know what we're going to do if we decide that we're going to boycott them, because that's going to really hit my house real hard. But
y'all, we might be living, on like we might be giving each other, like this might be our entertainment. We might be entertaining
I won't
each
have
other.
any of it because I won't have internet. I won't have a phone. I won't have anything.
Oh, right. We might be okay. We might
Smoke
be
signals.
yeah, okay. We might be making plays for each other
Yeah,
then on
yeah,
okay. That's what we'll do. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Miss Judy. We'll be
that really upset me. I know that every time I see those commercials online, on TV, I just my mouth is rated X. It's a good thing this isn't an all-adult house.
I understand. I understand completely.
Yeah.
No worries.
But I just wanted to kind of start putting that out there too, because they actually announced that on the news when they were talking about the destruction of the East Wing. And I was surprised that they said it, but I think it was Stephen Holt who actually said it out loud. I guess he was mortified himself about what was going on.
Yikes. I guess we're
And
we're gonna have to find new stuff, guys.
Yeah, and it's like, our choices for mainstream, just local news are getting smaller and smaller because CBS is getting, so right wing, and And, you gotta, where can we go? It's getting harder and harder to get, um, to get anything that's the least bit reliable.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
thank you, Miss Judy.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, I've got work to do for the 7 o'clock meeting for the Music for Democracy.
All right. Thank you. All right, Miss Linda, you're up next.
Unmute and see if I can get my camera going. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I just wanted to say thank you for everyone that participates in the protests. I came through the civil rights movement, and it was a different kind of protest. It was water hose, dogs, spitting, cursing, name calling. But you know what? I go out and I participate in these protests in my area. I'm in Southern California, to pay homage to my ancestors and everything that they went through and to continue the fight. And I'm there for my children. The person that I was standing with has 5 children, and her dad came up, who was not part of the protest, but he said he came to support her. And he said to me, and I'm a conservative, but I came to support my daughter. And I said, your daughter has 5 children that need what we are doing. And that's why she's here. And he didn't comment. He just walked away. But I would have read a lot more into him if he had said anything further, because then I could have gone through the entire list of what he's taken away from his own grandchildren with the actions that they're taking. But I'm getting ready to go as self-care. I'm getting ready to go to a talking circle with the indigenous folks, the tribe from my area here. And so that will be my self-care that I will be doing today. So I just wanted to share that with you and just love on you and say thank you, stay safe, and let's keep the fight up. We only had 60 years of reprieve, but you know what? We're going to get it back. We're going to build a better trap this time where they can't penetrate it, and this will not happen again.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you. And on that note, Melissa, you are up next. Oh, you got to, I got to unmute.
There we go. How am I keeping forgetting? I think when it comes to like Comcast and folks like that, we have to invest in the alternatives again, just like with Spotify. I don't know if Verizon's any better. That's what I ended up having back in when I'm in Massachusetts. That's what I have. I don't know if they're better. I have heard, and people here will know more about this than I do because I'm not that technologically oriented, but I think Roku seems to be an alternative medium, and there seem to be a bunch of others. So for people who know, we should put it out there. Where can you go? So that's basically it. Thank you.
Thank you. We will definitely have a better list probably by next week. I know that there is that awesome, where was that awesome? Oh, I'll figure it out here in a minute while Julie's talking. That Substack. Ooh, here you go, Julie. You talk. I will fiddle. Let me fiddle.
Oh, fiddle away.
All right.
That's what I feel like I've been doing all day long. I just wanted to say something about it. I heard on NPR on my way home. I was late to this group because I had to go get my car checked out because I am driving. I decided I was like, should I drive or fly to Michigan to see my daughter next week? So I'm going to be coming through, I guess, parts of northern well, I used to go to Chicago, but I'll be going around the lake. And so I was trying to map out where I'm going. And I'm going to stop at the, I don't know if anybody's heard of in Wisconsin, no, I can't think of it now. It's the house on the, I wrote it down. Anyway, I'm kind of getting way off my course here. Because I've been thinking a lot of things at once, as usual. Anyway, back to NPR, heard that there was House on the Rock. That's what it is, House on the Rock. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. It's in near Spring Green, Wisconsin, Baraboo. Anyway, I decided I'm going to take the road trip. I think it'll be good for me. And so I started looking at Citizens or the United, and I looked up Audible, and they are more blue. So is Amazon. So I'm trying to kind of weigh everything out with these boycotts. I don't know if the United Goods needs to be updated, but I was surprised to find both Apple and Amazon, which they have both recently contributed to the wreck of the White House. I did find an article on that and all of the contributors for that. And on that note, I kind of think we're between a rock and a hard place. I didn't mean that as a pun, but because it's like, okay, if we put pressure on the donors, is it going to be just, I mean, he already just started knocking down walls. Is it going to get left? Like the project won't be complete if the taxpayers don't pay it, if the donors don't, I don't know. It's all very confusing. But what I was going to say on NPR, I heard 170, approximately 170 U.S. citizens have been apprehended by ICE. And, there's lawsuits out there. And I think that we should add to our 5 calls list to call Comer's office. He's the oversight chair. And they are so busy right now investigating the auto pen gate that on Biden. It's like, tell them to, forget the auto pen and investigate why ICE is arresting U.S. citizens. Switch it up. Blumenthal is involved already with that. They said on NPR. So those were the 2, 5, 10 things I had on my mind all at once. Sorry.
No, no apologies.
I'm a little all over the place, but I am looking forward to I finally made the decision. I'm gonna drive. I'm a little worried about weather, but I'm doing it. And so
Driving was always self-care for me. Like that I'm a nomad and I miss the days of being in my Jeep and just driving like just anywhere, everywhere, going on the road.
Yeah, I decided, I don't have a strict timetable. I was going to fly Wednesday, come back two weeks later, Wednesday, and I don't want to deal with the airport and I don't want to make those people that aren't getting paid work any harder either.
Totally
And
get
it's
that.
the carbon footprint. And I can see a couple things along the way and listen to my stories. And so I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's 10 and a half journey, 10 and a half hours, but I'll stop. I'll stay over on the way.
It'll fly by.
Yeah.
No, it'll fly
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, I used to go as far as Chicago. It's only like 4.5 more hours, so from
I
there.
drive that. We
Yeah.
drive down to Oklahoma 10 and a half hours all the time, babe. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the encouragement.
You're welcome.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Mm-hmm. All right. C Web. I'm going to ask you to unmute now. It's your turn. Charlotte?
Hello?
Nope, not Charlotte. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Let me give you a video.
All right, I will.
On the problem with internet, you have varied choices. I don't know where the woman's located, but there's Verizon, T-Mobile, Google. All these are good other vendors. I don't know, what their inkling is about advertising, but they advertise everybody. And then, I don't know, there's tons of opportunities. There's a place called seniorplanet.org. They give classes. One of them is on understanding internet plans. She might try. And then get her area. There's a way to look up your internet provider for a certain website. I don't know what it is. So
Senior
that's
Planet.
all. Seniorplanet.org is part of AARP group. They give classes on internet, other technologies, all kinds of technologies and fitness. So it's a good site for anybody. I think you can sneak in if you're under 50.
Thank you. Stephanie dropped it in the chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate you talking. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, Diane, you are up next. Oh, you gotta unmute. Hold up, hold up. Oh, whoa, unmute. You gotta unmute.
All right, so sorry. I
okay.
finally got the flyer up.
Oh, good,
So I
good,
hope
good.
people can see it in the chat. I got help from Stephanie, which was golden. So anyway, hope you guys can find it. I don't know if there's another place for it, but I'm having trouble finding it right now myself.
Oh, I see it.
But
I see it.
you see
Music
it?
for
Okay.
Democracy.
Yep.
Yes.
And just to remind people, it is on Wednesday, November 19th, so there's time. I'd buy tickets as early as possible. They're limited seats. Some of us really have to have a seat. And it is going to be, but there is 120 standing room only. So hopefully there'll be the young people that'll do that. It is, you do have to pay to get in, which is totally 100% given to the beneficiary, which is a major player in helping immigrants right now in both the city and in the suburbs. So it's a definitely worthy cause. It's a shoestring operation. There's no profits by anybody. Even the venue is very cheap, giving us the musicians, everybody's given us a cut rate. So if anyone has any questions, you can contact me. I guess you might have my email in the chat. I don't know. Did people have the email or anything? But you can contact me.
That is
Diane Clausen.
Let's see. Is your email on the
Earth to Spirit? It's not on the flyer, but my personal email is EARTH number 2 SPIRIT number 4 at gmail.com. earth2spirit4@gmail.com. So, just please let me know if you're having any problems and you'd like to go, or if you'd like to volunteer to help. We will have volunteer ushers / marshals. So thank you, everybody.
That is 2 days after my birthday, and my daughter and I are supposed to be going to a concert on that day. I think on that day somewhere in Chicago, I think. What time is that? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Ours is 7 to 9. Might not, to 10. It might not go all the way to 10. Thank you.
Yay. Okay. All right. So
And Judy Aronson is helping us out. And she has an event on Saturday, the 25th in Morton Grove. So go to her event too, if you can. Those of you who can. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Bye, Julie. Have a good day. No worries. I understand. All right. Mostly what today was focusing on, self-care, y'all. What we do for self-care, how we do we do anything for self-care? Do we ever slow down? Do we do anything at all? to focus on ourselves. And if your answer is no, then there needs to be a pause. There needs to be a take a moment for yourself. There needs to be a you day, like a literal take a moment in your calendar and write yourself to yourself day. Yes, Jennifer.
Yeah, I've been learning about wines as
Oh,
a little side hobby kind of thing lately, and that's been really relaxing. So there's a lot of different. I mean, I've done it in the past, mushrooms and plants and nature and many different little hobby type things. But the wines is pretty interesting. I recommend it.
good. Like that's little things. And we live in, or like, honestly, Illinois, I don't know. I know that we get a lot of people on this call from a lot of different places, but Illinois has a lot of good wine country in different areas. Even come down near my area, we have a really few good wineries.
Oh, cool. Do they do tours?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes.
Someday.
Someday.
Absolutely.
But this is what I'm saying. Beth M has something called the Silent Underground from the Empowerment Collective that I did not tell her that she was going to be talking about today. But I'm going to now put her on the spot and I'm going to ask her to talk about it that now that she's chewing on something. I apologize. But I am
So I see this is our chess game where we're just going to keep putting each other on the spot.
apparently, I do apologize. I didn't mean to actually do that I didn't do that on purpose. I
Well,
do want you I do want you to talk about the empowerment or the Silent Underground though.
So yeah, so it's I don't know how to access the slides, but Rebecca made a slide with the QR code on it. And I don't know if you can share the slide, but it is called the Silent Underground, and you can access it on Empowerment Collective group, and it is all about self-care, and it is how you can still do activism and relax at the same time. It's just kind of a chill way of staying in the groove. And the woman who made it, the Empowerment Collective, her name is Jordan Grubel. And again, it is called the Silent Underground. And I can put a couple of
No, it's good.
slide in the chat. Oh, and there we go.
Yeah.
So it's fun. So you go to the Silent Underground through the QR, and when it asks you for the password, you type in "I can do the impossible," all caps with the exclamation mark, and it takes you to different areas. And there's just a lot of different things to choose from reading books, from listening to music, from writing things that may have bothered you, and then you get to burn it or rip it up or send a letter to somebody that you might want to get something off your chest. And then it has different poster slogans for the next March, because there's always going to be a next March. Anyway, it's just really cool. I enjoy it. I was on it last night. I go to it about once a week, and it's just something fun to do. So if you're interested, there is the QR. And thanks for Cecilia for bringing that up. I love
You're
you.
welcome. I love you too. And let me just say that your background makes you look like you have one of those awesome capes, like from Dracula. And it's amazing. It looks amazing. Kara,
Oh, it does.
it does. It looks awesome. Kara, you're up next, babe. Go ahead. Oh, you can unmute yourself, by the way. You have the power here. I don't need to, but I can help you if that helps. Here you go.
Oh, well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can help. Yeah.
Oh dear, I don't know. Anyways, so I've only been to Sorting Soup a couple times. 5 o'clock is like this time where I have these meetings. It's like I just leave work and I go have a meeting. So anyway, like for the real work of saving our country.
Yeah.
But my question is, what does sorting soup mean?
Well, here is okay, so this is what happened. Okay, this is how my head works. Coffee and Conversation was a fire hose of information in my brain. There was all this news and news and news and like indivisible stuff and 5051 stuff and court cases and all this stuff was coming and all this stuff. And it felt like it was just all of this stuff going around and bubbling around and all this stuff. And then I would have all this, I would come like be done with talking with everybody after 2 hours, right? Of talking with people. And then I would go and I would look up all of the stuff that we had been talking about, and it would be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would realize that I would want to talk to people again right about 3 or 4 o'clock, because I either had questions that I wanted to talk to them about, or I had opinions, or I just wanted to vent, or all sorts of things, right about 3, 4 o'clock, I wanted to talk to everybody, my friends. And so, but it was all that soup. It just felt soupy. It felt like there was all this just that I was just kind of sorting through with all my peeps from the morning. And so it came out as sorting soup. And the thing is, when we all come together, the other thing was one of my favorite, and it is one of my favorite childhood um stories, has always been stone soup. When we all come together and we bring an ingredient, right?
Right.
If we all come together and we bring an ingredient, we can make a beautiful, beautiful soup, stew, whatever you want to call it. And that is the truth of the matter, 100%. And just like I truly believe there is a place for us all in this country. We all have a place and we all have a purpose.
Yep.
We just have to figure out what that is. And so we all come to the soup. We all have a spice.
I love that. And that's what it brought to mind when I heard it, because Stone Soup is one of my favorite books. And it's not just, I love the message of everybody contributes something and then it's a wonderful flavor. But it's also the guy who started it had nothing. He pretended, yes. He pretended he had something. This is a soup and this is special. And you don't, but all he had was water.
All he had was a stone
and water. And so that's also us too. Do you remember, like right after the inauguration, what a mess we were all,
yes.
And
yes.
we had nothing, and now we got a lot.
And now look what we've got. Look at what we've got. Yes, you're right. That's right, Miss. That's right, Kara. Yes. Thank you. All right. Whew. Dr. Chris, you're up next.
Hey, I'm finally in a spot where my car has stopped. So yeah, so I had a chance to kind of go through the chat. So there was a question about sharing our stories, which is another one of the groups like Sorting Soup that kind of emerged out of Coffee and Conversation. So just to clarify, that group is intended to collect stories of people who are impacted or harmed by the Trump regime's policies, And then we have different roles for people that have agreed to be volunteers with that group to either amplify those stories. So we have Constance, who is leading our writing team, and so potentially, and then we have people that have volunteered to be on that team, like to do letters to the editors. We were missing a position, and that was somebody to do video content creation. And so we did find somebody. Her name is Chris Hawkins, who was working on a similar initiative out of California. So we've kind of partnered with her. And so our very next session, come prepared, on the 5th of November, because we will be asking you, anybody who would like to volunteer, to share your story, but we'll also be working with Chris and Stephanie to record some of those stories. So we're just kind of testing the platform a little bit, because the way Chris has done it in the past is she's interviewed people personally, like let's say at a protest. So we're kind of playing around with the idea of for those who want to. I mean, you can share your story and choose not to be recorded. That's okay too. And then figure out how we can edit that and get it down to like a 1-minute thing that could be shared. So anyway, that's coming up in 2 weeks. So think about, if you have a story to share, or if you know someone in your family who has a story to share, we'll be really interested in having you be part of that session. I just wanted to clarify, because there was a question about what I think what happened last time is we introduced Chris, and she was just showing what she had done at a protest, but that not necessarily what we plan to do with this group, but just showing what the capability was. That's all I have. See you on the 5th.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. All right, Melissa.
I'm up again. So I wanted just to also respond along the lines of sorting soup and the Kara's question, because I think we all agree on what that is. But I think my experience was that the after hours for NWS of A at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock my time, but was getting so deep and was getting to be much more articulated, and so many ideas were percolating. And it just the depth of it and the breadth of what we were talking about, that it looked like we just needed these stepping stones. And sorting soup is one to kind of grab that and try to form it more and create, both filter and make sense of it and experience it and sort it a little more, but also just to distill it a little more. And then we also developed out of that vision forward, which was to grab those ideas from sorting soup and from the after hours and from NWSOFA, and just really come up with to use our grassroots and our base here to create something that is more meaningful than what we've had before.
Right.
And sort of, it reminds me of that, like it's a stone soup concept, but it's the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. What we contribute to is something much bigger than any one of us.
That's true. That's true. Because normally right now we'd be brainstorming like what we would be doing, because right now we should be brainstorming ideas of self-care. But we're so bad at self-care, y'all, that we can't, but that's okay. That's why I brought, the impact. That's why I brought the Silent Underground, to give you some ideas. A glass of wine with a bubble bath. That is a good one. Yes. And honestly, I have a what is that thing called? Fantasy football league. I created a fantasy football league. And I'm still looking for anybody for players. And so, oh, right. We have a hard stop at 6:30 today. Ooh, it's 6:25. Okay. So, Diane, you'll be our last person. No, it's okay, hon. It's okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to hold things up. Anyway, I just wanted to, what was I going to tell you? Oh, yeah. My mother, who wasn't always the greatest mother in the world, but we all have our mother problems. She used to say, the best revenge is living well.
Hey,
And
hey.
I have thought of that a lot since we've been battling what we're battling.
You
So
know,
taking care of yourself is critical. It's really hard to sacrifice that when you're so dedicated to trying to change things. And it seems like we're up such and such an uphill battle, but that I just think that's might be helpful.
that is very true. And like the best revenge is living well. That is very true. And y'all, I do want to say, just thank you so much. I know we have so much to put our time into, and thank you so much for spending your time here with us this last hour and a half. Thank you. Self-care is going to be one of our tiny pillars that gets us through the next few years. So do not forget about it. Okay, y'all? It's important. And I hope that we will be able to help you remember it. So thank you so much for stirring this soup with us. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. We will see you next Thursday. Have a good night.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ooh, good night.
Thank you, Cecilia.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Ooh, good night.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Good night. We have. I
You do
forgot.
have a fat dog, Rebecca.
Cecilia, what is the session that's on tonight with Bill's group?
It is
because I'm going to the red one and blue one, but I was curious what
I am so sorry. I should have announced it. It is the
gun violence.
Oh my gosh. I know. Yeah, gun violence.
Gun violence. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can
Yes.
catch that on a recording. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Speaking
Thanks,
of
everybody. Thank you
recording,
so much.
Bye-bye.
Cecilia, I think you're the host. Can you